this rage inside of me that I just can't wait to unleash. I'm invincible, I'm unstoppable.
All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan. And tonight, well, actually, I won't be your host for the next hour because tonight Priscilla has a very special something for you guys. What we're going to do tonight is we are going to let you in on one of our Spartan Army video calls, and you're going to get the audio from it. This is a pretty amazing one. The topic for tonight is leveraging your failures for rapid achievement. In other words, we're going to be looking at our failures and seeing how we can learn from them. And not just learn, but exponentially learn and grow and get closer to our goals. So many people think that failure is not acceptable and that failure means you lost. But personally, I can tell you guys, I've fallen down 1,000 times and I've had to scrape myself up off the pavement 1,000 more times. The difference in those that are successful and those that are leaders are that they never lay down and show their underbelly. They don't let failure stop them. They use a completely different viewpoint on failure. It's a learning experience. And tonight, Priscilla is going to talk extensively about that on this Spartan Army weekly video call. And guys, just so you know, the Spartan Army is something we're very proud of. We're very happy to offer it to you guys, for lack of a better term. This is a lot of work poured into this. This is our entire team going balls to the wall on the Spartan Army. And basically what you get, guys, when you become part of the Spartan Army and you get access to the Spartan Army Training Center, you get an arsenal of content. It's amazing, guys. You get a weekly workout, and it's different every week for different body parts. So one week we're going to show you something very unique for chest or arms or triceps or biceps or legs or abs. Yes, we have ab workouts in the Spartan Army, guys. I know a lot of you were saying, hey, there's no ab workouts in Genesis. Well, yeah, personally, I don't think you need them. I haven't done abs in fucking 10 years, and I got abs. But if you want them to really pop when you get down there to that low body fat, yeah, you should do abs. It's good for overall not just well-being, but the shape of the abs. When you start to get lean enough, you can see them. It's definitely good. So we got tons of ab workouts in there. You get a motivational video every week just for the Spartan Army. And as you guys know, motivation is key. We preach motivation, man. Part of our programs are finding personal development in the mornings and finding good content to listen to so that your mind is positive. So you're controlling what's going into your mind. And when you speak things into existence, they become real. As soon as you open your mouth and you speak something or you let that thought become a reality, that's what happens, guys. It becomes real and your brain believes it. So we pack you full of motivation every single week. You also get a recipe video from us. Now, this is going to be for bulking and for shredding. So we're going to show you options for both. We're going to take you into our kitchen, show you how to cook. We're going to lay it down with the macros for Genesis, Revolution, and Unleash. So for shredding, which would be Genesis and Revolution. For Unleash, which would be our bulking program. You get a pro fitness tip to go along with that. So one of us, myself, Brandon, Howard, Cage, Priscilla, we're going to take you into the gym. We're going to show you some of our, I guess you could say, top secret tweaks. It's the little things that add up. The way you turn your arm on a bicep curl. Do you relax your wrist when you're doing a bicep curl? Probably not. Did you know that if you relaxed your wrist and you pointed your pinky outward, you try to turn and supinate your wrist so that your pinky points outward? The combination of those two is going to get you explosive growth in your biceps. I bet you didn't know that if you angle your arm out at a 45-degree angle with a wide grip, you're working the long head of the bicep instead of the short head. We got tons of this. I'm just talking about biceps right now. I haven't even talked about the rest of the muscle groups. So think about all that, guys. So workout, pro fitness tip, motivation, recipe, and this weekly video call that we do. So we get up to 100 participants at a time on our video calls. And if you're not one of those 100 participants, you didn't secure your seat in time, it's okay. We have the replay every week the following day in the Spartan Army Training Center. So if you miss it, you have an opportunity to rewatch it the next day, and it'll live forever in the archives as well. But one of the benefits of getting on that call is that when we're done with the call, you get to have a live Q&A with us. So you'll speak directly with myself, Priscilla, Brandon, or Howard, and you can ask any question you want. It doesn't have to be related to the topic that we're talking about. We're here to answer as many of your questions as possible. And we've stayed on for 20, 30 minutes after the presentation just to talk to people and just to answer their questions. In this case, guys, on this call, we edited those, just so you know. I didn't include those at the end because it was a one-way conversation. We didn't have the audio coming into the mics from the video call. But just know that this Q&A is there. It is available for you guys. So if you want a 30-day trial of the Spartan Army, which I really want you to try, I really want you to experience this. One of the things that we do is that we offer these trials so that you can go in there, you can see everything that we have to offer. And you don't just get 7 days, you don't just get 1 week worth of content. You can see what we do every single week. And you can jump on 4 of these video calls if you want and experience them. They're every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 9 p.m. Eastern time. And for you guys in the mountains and every stuff, you can kind of figure out the middle stuff. But try them. And if I promise you, if you jump on these calls, you're going to get a ton of good information, more information than you ever expected, especially since you're watching us live on your webcam. And, oh, by the way, in the Q&A, if you got a webcam, we'll bring you up in front of everybody and we'll let you talk and you can interact with us. We get to see your face. We talk right to you like we're in the same room. It's really cool, man. One of the things that we really try to push is being personable. We're people too, guys, and we're here to help, and we really want to be able to help you on a one-on-one basis. So this is the closest thing that you can get to actually coming here to Sonoma County, working out with us at Stan Bennett's in Santa Rosa and getting, stuff straight from the horse's mouth. If you want that trial, guys, which I know you do, Spartan Army, www.bodyspartan.com/Spartan Army. bodyspartan.com/Spartan Army. Give it a go, guys. 30-day free trial. All right, I'm going to turn this over to Priscilla on the Spartan Army weekly video call. Enjoy, guys.
What's up, everybody? Tonight, we're going to be talking about learning from your failures. Not like any of you have ever failed ever in your entire life. And notice I'm not joined by my cohorts tonight because Gabe Tuft, for instance, well, he never fails, right? Wrong. In fact, learning together with him through our failures has been one of the number one most important things that we have ever done for our business. It's so easy to just get wrapped up in the fact that things didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to. That is completely normal because you haven't achieved the desired outcome. However, Einstein said it best. Success is failure in progress. So we're going to start out by celebrating some of the biggest failures known to man. Maybe you can relate to a few of these. I know that I can. Have you ever lost your job? That's the first thing that we're talking about. I remember when I was 18 years old, I was so excited. I was off to college and my roommate said, "Hey, come to work with me and we're going to get you a job as a waitress." There's this restaurant named Trophies and you wear these like scrunchy fun socks. It was like kind of like a Hooters, but you wear more clothes. You have to write your name upside down on the menu and it's just this exciting thing, this whole experience. I was so pumped. I showed up to work. I tried my hardest during training and guess what? I come in day 3 and they say, your services are no longer needed. Why? Because I totally sucked. I spent way too long caring about what was going on in these people's lives when they just wanted their food and their alcohol. And I had never served alcohol. I had never had alcohol to drink. I didn't know what I was doing. So I epically failed by getting fired from my very first waitressing job, my only waitressing job, in just 3 days. Maybe you've been in a job for 20 years and you just got laid off. Have you ever lost your job? If so, this could be a catalyst for massive growth in your life because it was for Steve Jobs. He was fired from the very first company that he ever started. And he started it in his garage. He was succeeding exponentially. It was an amazing endeavor. And then he got canned from his own job. Can you even believe that's possible? But this did not discourage him. This made him so passionate for success. And he turned out to be a massive success by creating Apple. So let's go on. Have any of you ever dropped out of school? So did Bill Gates. So did Walt Disney. I think Bill Gates actually went on to start a business after he dropped out of school. It was called Trafodata or something like that, which that was also an epic failure. But the skill and passion that man had for computer programming made him a pioneer in the most famous software company, Microsoft. Then at 31 years old, he became the world's youngest self-made billionaire. And as you know, Walt Disney went on to be a huge success as well. So high school dropouts, college dropouts, that's not enough to give up. How about difficulty learning? Have any of you really struggled to know stuff? I know I did. In fact, I had teachers tell me that I have a learning disability. And I'm not the only one. This person that I'm about to talk about right now had a difficult time learning and couldn't even speak fluently until he was 9 years old. Maybe you relate to this, a little bit of hyperactivity. Well, maybe you're brilliant, because this is Albert Einstein's story. He was even kicked out of his Zurich Polytechnic School. His ideas were ruthlessly shut down over and over and over. And that's a real hit to anybody who feels that they don't have the capacity to learn very well. Anybody that feels that they're not smart. Anybody that feels challenged academically. When somebody shuts down your idea, you feel dejected. You feel like a loser. You feel like there's nothing that you could possibly do right. And I'm guessing that might have been how Albert Einstein felt as well. But it didn't stop him from winning the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1923. So let's talk about failed businesses. Have any of you had a failed business? Have any of you suffered nervous breakdown and freaked out and felt insane? Have you been rejected multiple times by multiple people, maybe even a large crowd of people? I remember being a star in the Christmas play, and I got hooked on the curtain. I looked like a complete idiot, and everybody laughed in my face, and I remembered it for the longest time. It didn't keep me from entertaining, but it was a real setback. Well, these things also happened to Abraham Lincoln. Yes, he actually had a nervous breakdown. That's a fun one to Google. He had his defeats, but he refused to stop trying his best. And then he was elected in 1861 as the 16th president of the United States of America. He refused to stop trying. Even when he felt like the walls were caving in, even when he felt like he had nothing going for him, even when he thought that he couldn't do it, that audacity to continue pressed on in his heart. So let's touch on one that's real uncomfortable. And this has been brought up many, many times among those of you that are fans of Body Spartan. Many of you have suffered addiction to drugs or alcohol. You get clean and sober, and you go right back to phase one. Well, you're in the same boat as Stephen King. Substances were his mechanisms. He led a very, very unhappy life growing up, and he was rejected by publisher after publisher. Can you even believe this? And in combination with that rejection and the unhappiness that he was feeling in his life, he would use illicit substances, and they caused him to contemplate harming his own children. Violence towards his own kid. And I'm not talking about smacking them in the face. He would have sick, horrible thoughts about hurting his kids because his brain was not firing correctly. So he was having, I'm guessing, probably the frontal cortex was blocked in some aspects, but then in other aspects, he was able to latch onto that creativity. And instead of being defeated by the drug and alcohol addiction, instead of feeling like caving in to abusing his children, he took that and focused it into his writing. They became his coping mechanisms, his pen and paper. And this is how a master author that we know today very well became a massive success. So let's talk about how it really applies to you. Because now that you know that everybody fails, those are a bunch of major, I mean, they're only 5, but there are so many more just like this. Remember that the goal that you're working on achieving and failing at is really a feeling that you're looking to accomplish. If you decide to feel the feeling of that accomplishment, then there is no failure. Yes, there are ways that don't work in getting to your goal. That is going to happen, absolutely. Yet, it's really that feeling of accomplishment, of joy, of, I did this. And if you can find a way to feel that feeling today, then you will be a vibrational match to that which you are desiring to accomplish. On top of finding a way to feel that way, I call it transmutation because that's kind of what it is. So let's take an example. Say you're just a really, really kind, compassionate person. And when you see somebody who needs money, you stop and you give them money. Or maybe, oh my goodness, even more, maybe you give them a hug. Or maybe you look them in the eyes and say, hey, it's going to be a better day tomorrow. That's powerful. That's a success. That is huge. And that is so much more than most humans have. So take that power and transmute that power. Cause it to shift into the area that you are working on succeeding in. Imagine yourself as a self-made millionaire with that same exact power and compassion that you had for that individual that was desperately needing help. The other part of feeling that feeling is finding positivity in your circumstances, a beautiful outcome, a beautiful way to look at the failure or the negativity. Sometimes we'll get slowed down in traffic when we're on the way to go somewhere. There's crazy, crazy traffic. We're a little bit north of San Francisco. And so we get the SF traffic out here, and it can be a madhouse. So we're trying to go somewhere, and we're late. And it feels like such a failure. It feels like, oh my gosh, I can't even be on time for a meeting. Are you serious? And I get down about that personally, because that's an area I've grown so much in. And that is something that I really want to do because I feel like it shows somebody respect. It shows somebody that you care. Yet, sometimes when I'm late or stuck in traffic, there's nothing that I can do. I think, what am I being preserved from? Here's a positive way to think of it when you're stuck in traffic and feeling angry, feeling like a failure, late to work, late to a meeting. What accident did you avoid by not leaving the house 5 minutes earlier? Of course, next time you're going to leave the house 5 minutes earlier and leave yourself a little bit of a cushion because you're learning from your success or learning from your failures in order to achieve success in the future. However, what can you be grateful for in that moment? How can you put a positive swing on it? How can you see the glass half full? Because all of us have epic failures, but there's always something positive that we can find amongst the difficulties. The next step, third step, let it go. Let it go. And that is so much easier said than done because, of course, we all lay our heads on the pillow at the end of the night and that little voice goes on like, hey, stupid. You're like, oh, not you again. Really? However, there are 3 steps that you can take in order to help you release the feeling of failure, even when you have epically failed. Be open to change, prepare for the change, and embrace the change. So I'm going to give you kind of an idea of how you can put this into action to powerfully see your failures as a success. You've got a new fitness goal. Let's say you just started Genesis and you are open to change. You're like, hey, you know what? I thought that the only way that I could lose weight or get a shredded 6-pack is if I was on a low-fat diet. But this nutrition plan is really different. This has low fat. I've heard that this works for people, but I've never done anything like that, and it's never gotten me results before. So I don't know. I've never lifted like that in the gym, or I've never tried this cardio technique. But be open to the fact that maybe you don't have all of the answers. And that's okay. In fact, that's great because maybe it's the one answer that you don't have yet that is going to be that final catalyst that sends you across that finish line. Now let's talk about preparation for change. preparation is more than just meal prep, more than just getting your groceries, doing your Monday meal prep. Did you guys all do your Monday meal prep? And it goes so much deeper than that. Preparation is mindset, preparing the mind for the extra work that it's going to take to get the results that you never had. And lastly, embrace the change. So commit to what it is that you are doing and embrace it 100%. This is my new life. This is what I'm doing for the next 12 weeks. I am on Genesis. I'm no longer going to yo-yo and go unleashed Genesis, unleashed Genesis. Just pick one and embrace it and understand that this is going to be the catalyst for massive success in your life. It has worked for thousands of other people. It will work for you too. So take these steps of letting go and apply it towards whatever struggle you are having with failures. The next step is to realize that BS is what keeps you held back. And those of you that follow us, you know what BS is. It's your belief systems. It's your rituals, your patterns, your influences, all that stuff that goes in to building your belief system. And of course, your actions are going to be a reaction to these belief systems. If you keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results, what is it? Insanity. So doing those same rituals, doing those same patterns, continuing to follow the same routine that you have been in that hasn't worked is insane. It's crazy. So we must be open to the change and try something new. Another one of the belief systems that really entraps us, we're going to just hit on these belief systems because these are actually things that really can set you back. But when you see a spade for a spade, you can say, not me, not anymore. I'm going to try something different and live an empowered life. And I'm going to take everyone else with me. So one of those belief systems is that you're a victim. It's always somebody else's fault. Well, was it somebody else's fault last time you failed? Who are you blaming? What's really going on when you're in this victim mentality? You feel trapped. You feel unable to succeed in massive ways because somebody else is holding you back. And so then it's out of your control. Then it's out of your power. However, the truth is that nobody can hold you back from success. And nobody can hold you in a state of failure. In fact, those failures and those holdbacks are moments of empowerment where you collect answers that rapidly change the way that the world works and the way that people are doing things. You are finding answers through your failures to help other people and to have empathy and understanding and compassion. I had somebody tell me the other day, oh, it seems like you always have all the answers and that everything you touch turns to gold. Like, how are you so perfect? And I said, my friend, please understand. The only reason I have stuff to say and answers to give is because these are areas that I have struggled in. And that's why I feel passionate about them. Because all of us have failed. All of us have had moments where we feel like we're at the end, we push on, and we're able to find a way to succeed. So you're not the victim. Understand that you were created in perfection to be a creator. You are the creator of your own life. And when you believe that there is a way outside of these failures, that is when amazing things are going to happen. And the success will be so much closer within reach. Because if it's somebody else's fault, of course you're never going to make it because you're out of control. So take back control and understand that you were created to create by your creator. Another one of the belief systems that we get trapped in is comparison and the idea of perfection. And what that really is failure to accept yourself, failure to love yourself exactly where you're at. Understanding that we were created each for a different purpose. for something special, for something amazing, for something so far beyond what any other human has done. Because we all have a different job here. We all have a different purpose. And your story is not like anybody else's story. So if you're here to help people through depression because you have suffered depression, understand that your story of depression and the reasons that you're depressed and the answers that you find are going to be different from another person who is helping people through depression. Nobody can be an expert on your own life except for you, because nobody has walked a mile in your shoes. However, your story will touch the heart of somebody who is hurting so deeply that that other person cannot help. Your story is unique and your purpose is different. So the trap of perfectionism and comparison is just another belief system, another diversion from the path on your way to success. Fear is another huge belief system that is constantly something that we're working on. It's the fear of failing again. Oh my gosh, again. Did I seriously do that again? I even tried a different way. But seriously, did I seriously not make it again? There's that fear. There's the fear of, uncertainty. This might be really hard. Let's go back to the Genesis diet. I started the Genesis diet, or I'm thinking of starting the Genesis diet. This might be too hard for me. I don't know. What about my social life? How am I going to live without alcohol for 12 weeks? It's that uncertainty. And then, what if I fail again? That's another form of uncertainty. Then there's, what are people going to think about me? Hey, when I lost 100 pounds, I was freaked out about what people were going to think about me. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't eat pizza with them anymore. What are they going to think? Or I don't party with them anymore. I don't know if they're going to understand that. Or are they going to make fun of me for being skinny? Because that happened too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of liked it though. I was like, go on. Tell me more about this terrible skinny thing that I am. And can you be a bit more detailed? Because that's awesome. But we get so hung up on what other people are going to think, or fear of the future and not succeeding in the future. But if you are trying, then you are succeeding. As long as you're not giving up, then you are on the path to success. And the biggest fear that is an alert to me when I'm in a state of fear, because we go back to these things. Maybe I seem to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I know what step I'm going to do when. I still get caught in these traps all the time, and I fail a bunch, and I am type A, and I can veer towards perfectionism in some ways, especially being married to my husband Gabe. He is so perfect at everything he does, and so I compare myself to, we still get stuck in these traps. I don't care who you are. I don't care how high level you are. You're going to hit these moments, but looking at these step-by-step ideas of letting go of those old belief systems, these are going to call it out. These are going to allow you to call it out. Next time you feel stuck in a failure or in a mode of not believing in yourself, are you afraid of being alone? Now, it's impossible for you to be in a state of fear and a state of love at the same time. They are two opposite vibrations that counteract each other. They repel each other. So if you're too afraid to sit alone with yourself, then you are not loving yourself. And if you are not loving yourself, you don't even believe that you're worthy of the success that you're about to achieve. Guess what? There's nothing wrong with having a six-pack. It's what you do with it. Are you going to put other people down and be a tyrant? Probably not. You're probably going to be really proud of yourself, and you're a body Spartan. You help other people. You pay it forward. So think of all the lives that you are going to change by accomplishing your fitness goals. How about the business that you're trying to run? Do you want to be a self-made millionaire? There's nothing wrong with money, because poor people can't help poor people. And unless you're willing to go out there and achieve in a big way, you're not going to have a success story to speak of. There is no success story without failures. So keep in mind what it is that you're gunning for. It comes with valor. So be proud of it and understand that you are worthy of it. Understand that it's something that you can use to benefit other people. And most of all, you're going to feel so self-confident and just proud of yourself, proud of your accomplishments. And it's going to be the catalyst of more accomplishments in your life. You've got to be still with yourself and not be afraid to be in that space, because the true answers that help you succeed in unimaginable ways come in the space between two thoughts. And in the space between two thoughts, there should be a time of asking questions. And I ask two questions to help myself move forward. The first one is, what must I do more of? And this is a time of introspection. What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do more of? I need to go to sleep earlier so that I can wake up earlier, so I can crush my cardio. Because I'm not making excuses and I'm not blaming the fact that my baby was up in the middle of the night crying and so I was up. No, I am going to take personal responsibility for my own goal and my own success, and understand that in the trials, as I succeed, are generating answers that I'm going to use to pour into the lives of other people and really make an impact. The other question I ask myself is, what is it in my life that I need to limit? Do you need to limit brownies? Do you need to limit exposure to people that are negative? That is the next thing that I want to go into as far as belief systems. What outside influences are going in? What's happening? What are you listening to? What music are you enjoying? Is it angry music? Does it make you mad and make you want to road rage? Because anger and fear are on the opposite side of the spectrum. Success is with happiness, joy, compassion, love. If it's a negative vibration, then you are walking in the opposite direction of your goal. But are you listening to music that stimulates your brain? Maybe you're listening to binaural beats, which are tones in both of your ears that are generating brain waves that are allowing you the capacity to think more clearly and more creatively. What people are you hanging out with? Here's a big one. This has been like the story of my life. I almost did the call on this, you guys. Oh my gosh. The people that you are hanging out with, I know you guys are totally sick of hearing us talk about it, but you're a sum total of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, period. So look at those top 5 influences. Who are you chilling with? It could be online, it could be on the phone, it could be in person, but who are you hanging with? And who do you need to limit time with? Because they don't believe in your goal or they're jealous. Who do you need to spend more time with? That person that's already achieved. Or maybe there's a mentor. And if you have nobody in your life that is a catalyst of joy for you, then make your friends this podcast. Make your friends audiobooks and read. Have your mentors be somebody that is on the other side of the computer or coming in through your cell phone. That's okay. Because it's what's going into your mind that is creating the drive to keep going when you fail, that is reminding you that all of us have failed and you're so freaking close. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle, because on the other side of just a little bit more work is that goal which you so desperately want to achieve. And when you achieve it, you are going to inspire the multitudes. One last thing to look at as far as outside influences is, where you going? Are you hanging out in places that don't feel good to you? If you're living in a home where there's roommates that are constantly partying and you're trying to shred your 6-pack, make a plan to get out of there. Spend less time at home. Go out in nature. Breathe in that fresh air. Put your feet on the earth and spend time there until the finances come to get you out of that situation. They are not to be blamed, because I've been in situations like that where I'm like, if only this person wasn't here. Well, guess what? that's just blaming. That's an excuse. And I'm in control. And so what I decide to do is go out in nature, to go hang out at the library and study, or to find a place under a tree where the squirrels hang out, because the squirrels are an awesome influence. They don't worry about crap. They're just looking for something to eat, stealing berries, sticking their mouth full of berries. Take a hint. Maybe we need to do more of that. Maybe we need to eat more food from nature. But they're not an excuse, but they are a catalyst of change in your life. So make a plan of action to get you out of that kind of environment. For me, and I don't want to be like a better than anybody person, and God bless the people that work at Walmart. They are human beings with people that love them. But I can't go to Walmart anymore, because I noticed that when Gabe and I were really struggling, I would go there and buy inexpensive food. I had to. That and the dollar store and his parents' house, wherever I could get food at discount prices. Now, when I go into Walmart, I have a personal feeling of lack. And I look around and I see everything through a perception of scarcity. Now, I'm not saying that Walmart is a scarce place. Oh my gosh, they have some of the coolest stuff and amazing prices. But for me, I have no business in there because it lowers my vibration and makes me feel scarce. I still love to go to thrift shops. I love thrift shops. I'll go buy furniture and DIY that furniture, and it's a gorgeous piece. I'm inspired to be in a thrift shop or a consignment store. I love those spots. And those things are less expensive than Walmart. So I'm not trying to be a better than, but I'm saying, look at your true intentions. Look at your heart and say, how do I feel in these places? These are the 5 places that I frequent. How do I feel there? Are you going to the same coffee shop that serves the donuts that you used to eat? And so every time you go in for your morning cup of coffee, you're seeing those donuts. That place has got to go. Find something else. Make coffee at home. It's a better deal for you anyways. Save that money. Give it to the homeless person that needs it so much more than you. But think about where you're going and what places you need to limit, and think of places you need to frequent. I just made up a place in my mind the other day. I'm like, hey, I need more good friends with air conditioner at their house and nice pools, and driven entrepreneurs with kids, and we'll sit around and talk about business and let the kids play in the pool. What do you want more of in your life? And again, that's playful, and it actually is a catalyst of creation, because those people and those opportunities and circumstances do come into your life. But what do you need more of as far as media? What are you listening to? As far as people, what kind of friends do you need? As far as places that you're going, where do you need to spend your time? And if your job is a negative place, there's another classic example of something that needs to change. You're not trapped there. You're not trapped there. Gabe and I started Body Spartan with no money. And for the longest time, we would just put content online to serve people because we wanted to inspire and motivate people. We wanted people to be able to belong to something, because too many people are walking around alone. So we created Body Spartan. We weren't generating any income for the longest time. And we realized this is our passion. This is our purpose. This is how we want to serve people. And it's time to create a profit center. So finally, we got together $20 and we began to invest in creating products and getting it out to people. And that was the right decision, because we've become massively successful, not without a whole lot of failures. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are the king and queen of failure. But on the same token, we never gave up. And we look at other people that don't give up when we still want to give up sometimes, because it's hard. And the bigger the goal, the bigger the aspiration, the more you are going to want to quit. Because it's freaking hard. Because there aren't that many people up at the top. There's not that many people that are willing to do what it takes to be at the top. But there is so much room up there. So let go of that fixed thinking. Let go of those belief systems that are no longer serving you. You are being programmed at one point in time to believe that these things were true. But be free, my friends. Understand that when we let go of fixed thinking, we are free to accomplish our dreams. Things like, oh, I've always been on a low-fat diet. That's the only way I can lose weight. That's fixed thinking, not willing to try anything, not willing to change. Oh, I have to have that glass of wine every single night. Yeah, I want those to be my good work hours after my kids go to bed, but I got to have that glass of wine, and then once I get that glass of wine, I just want to sit on the couch and watch my favorite show. I have to watch my favorite show. Or maybe it's not a business or fitness goal. Maybe it's an emotional goal. Oh, I just have to watch the game with those guys. Oh my gosh, I know they're so negative. I know that they're cheating on their wives. I know that, they're always making fun of me and making me feel like trash, but I always watch the game with those guys. I want better for my life, but I got to do this. That's what we do every single week. What else am I going to do with my life if I don't do, okay. Be willing to believe in yourself enough to try something new. Because without failures, there is no success story. And just to wrap it up for you guys a little bit, keep in mind all of those people that went on before you that have failed epically. And know that they were able to do it, and that gives you proof that you can do it too.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.